Alright, what's going on, guys? Trev back again, here to bring you another video. This one's going to be another versus who would win type matchup for two of the biggest characters in the Dragon Ball Z animated universe. That is going to be between LSSJ Broly, Legendary Super Saiyan Broly, and Super Perfect Cell. Who would win? Alright, good stuff. So this one is, I think, a very good death battle type matchup versus type matchup because there's no way to say, first of all, for sure, one way or another, who is stronger, who would win in a one-on-one type matchup between Broly and Cell's most powerful version. You could call him Super Perfect Cell or just Perfect Cell, whatever you want, that's your choice. But basically, the most powerful version of Cell versus LSSJ Broly. It's a tough call. Now, we'll never see this, of course, in the anime or anything like that, even if they are to do another one. Probably never see it in our lifetime, so it's a good topic for us to talk about and give our opinions on who's stronger, who do we think would win in a one-versus-one battle. Now, this is a tough one because I've kind of thought about this for a while, I've gone back and forth on it. At first, I was like, oh, Broly, for sure, Broly. But then as you start looking through the details and everything, and you start to analyze his performance, for example, Broly in Legendary Super Saiyan Broly takes on a Kamehameha full force, point blank range, does not even block it, and it seemingly does nothing to him. It doesn't even make him bounce back. It doesn't make him anything. He just stands there like the Hulk and just takes it like he's totally invulnerable, like no problem at all, doesn't even worry about it, smiling, you know. Cell, on the other hand, when Goku around the same, time range, if you count Legendary Super Saiyan Broly as right before the Cell game saga, I guess, or right at the beginning of that, when Cell gets hit with the instant transmission Kamehameha, it does almost kill him. It destroys like half his body and he regenerates, but it really damages him heavily to the point where he's almost defeated, but he's able to regenerate. So based on that comparison right there of how they are able to withstand the same attack from the same character who should be at the same power level in each case, basically, Broly has better, his body is stronger. I don't know if you want to say his power level is higher, because power levels are tricky. Sometimes they make sense, sometimes they don't make sense at all. The wiki, for example, for Broly has him listed as a higher power level than Super Saiyan 3 Goku, which is crazy, right? So with how they both took that attack, I think you have to conclude right there that Broly can withstand more punishment than Cell. However, when you get to the end of the movies, and of course the heroes have to win, Goku and the Z Fighters, in the end they got to win in the movies, so they're able to defeat Broly by pooling their energy, or in Second Coming by doing a tri-Kamehameha attack and overcoming his blast, or his big huge green energy ball. So it really becomes arguable, and there's kind of inconsistencies, I would say, in terms of Broly's performance. Of course, at the end and how he is defeated, and you think to yourself, if he has a power level of 1.4 billion, which is like Super Saiyan 3 level, unless he's gotten really tired or something, does it make sense? Well, for the plot, the good guys have to win. So that kind of screws up, how we view Broly, since we've only seen him a couple times, not counting Bio Broly, because that's a different thing, and we've never seen him in the actual canon anime series, just in the special movies. So that makes it really, really tough. The other thing is you can counter the Goku Kamehameha from point blank range versus Cell instant transmission, because Cell was purposefully fighting Goku at basically an equal power level. Cell could have powered up more than that, but we were not seeing Cell's most powerful state. He was basically matching Goku's power to enjoy the fight, because he has that, the cells of the Saiyans in him. He wants to really enjoy that fight. So he could have gone further than that easily and powered up more, but he was at an equal level with Goku, equal playing field, to test his skills and see how it went. And as a result, his body was not powered up to a state where he could withstand an instant transmission Kamehameha. So do you see here how logically you can point to, one thing, and you can kind of counter it with a theory, and back and forth and back and forth. And when you compare the two, like for example, you add in Second Coming, and that just adds complexity, because in Second Coming he's fighting an older Gohan after the time skip and everything, but Is that Gohan Super Saiyan 2? Is he Super Saiyan 1? Do we know? There's no lightning around him. His hair does look like Super Saiyan 2 halfway, like it's pointy, but it's not like as, hedgehog as it is Super Saiyan 2 against Cell, for example, when he's younger. So there's a lot of arguments you can go back and forth here, one way or another, and how you want to. The way I view it overall, the way I kind of sum it up to myself, including the fact that at the end of the movie, the Z Fighters have to win because it's, plot armor. They have plot armor, basically, in this case. I personally think that Broly is stronger than Cell in terms of power level. 1.4 being stronger than Super Saiyan 3 Goku is a stretch, I think. I don't think that is... I personally, if I was to give him a power level, I would rank him at close to Super Saiyan 3, but not as powerful as Super Saiyan 3, because he's got his own Super Saiyan form, the green, glow LSSJ, which is not the same as the regular Super Saiyan forms, like 1, 2, 3. Broly doesn't really have 1, 2, or 3. I mean, in the video games, they've given him that, but in the movies, is he USSJ? What is he? He's kind of his own form, the way I look at it as. So you could consider him USSJ, I guess. But for him, that form is more powerful, I think, than a Super Saiyan 2 for the most part. Okay, at least that's the way I view it personally. Can you point logically to reasons why it isn't by comparing the fights? Yeah, you can, and you can do the opposite because of the plot armor, like I mentioned. So in this case, here's the way I would go with this versus matchup between the two. Broly at the beginning would be very difficult for Cell to mess with. Most of Cell's attacks probably would not be very useful against Broly. He'd be able to just chill and just withstand them all without any kind of trouble at all, with the exception of some of the special abilities that Cell has that Broly would not really be prepared for, I don't think. A Destructo Disc could be a very effective tactic against somebody like Broly that has no fighting experience and doesn't really seem to care to avoid it. That type of thing. So Cell does have all these extra techniques that he can use. So even if Broly is able to withstand him at the beginning and mash Cell up to pieces for a while, throw him through 50 buildings or whatever the case may be, like we saw in LSSJ Broly, even still, Cell's going to regenerate. He's going to come back. And I tend to think that Cell has better endurance than Broly. With the amount of techniques he has in addition to that as well, I'd have to go with... we've even seen him use solar flares. We've seen him use, Kamehameha, Destructo Disc, Cell Juniors, multiply. And he's able to basically match Goku in terms of level-to-level... physical fighting prowess in terms of skills with fighting. So as a result, with the techniques and everything like that, even if Broly is stronger by a degree, and I would say Broly, I think personally, is stronger than Cell. I'd give him maybe, I'd put Cell, Super Perfect Cell, probably at 80% of Broly's power. Can you argue? Yes, of course you can. I don't want to start an argument here. But yes, of course you can. You can point to reasons why that, it's hard to make sense of exactly how powerful he is. But what I will say is, I would put him at about, let's say Cell is somewhere around probably 75, 80% of Broly's strength, let's say. Maybe not, maybe 60, 70, 80, something like that, in that range, right? It doesn't really matter too much. But because of his techniques and his ability to heal himself, Broly's going to mash him. Yeah, we know that. At the beginning, Broly's going to smash him up pretty good. But as Broly gets tired, like we saw in LSSJ, which, based on the plot armor, we can conclude that Broly, as he went through it, he got tired, he's bigger, he's huge, he's expanding all kinds of energy. Cell is more focused, Cell is smarter, Cell is more calculated, he has way more techniques, and I think that Cell, even though Broly's going to win at the beginning, I think for a while, eventually Cell would find a way to beat him using his vast amount of techniques that he has. Regeneration, coming back, find a way to win eventually, even though I do believe Broly's power level is higher in terms of my thoughts on it, even though, like I said, the official power levels don't make sense a lot of the time. In this case, they don't really. So that's kind of the way I look at it, is that between Super Perfect Cell and Broly, I would go with Super Perfect Cell because of all those other factors, and because Broly is a hulking brute maniac that doesn't really fight with any kind of I don't want to say technique, but he doesn't fight with any kind of strategy or organization. He just rages and goes crazy. And something like a Destructo Disc would be a good way for Cell to beat him, because Broly probably wouldn't even care to dodge it. You know, he might try to blast it away or something. But, you know, Cell's got some great control, and he's got some really crafty techniques that he could use. And I just see it personally as Cell would find a way to beat him, even though it's a tough one. So let me know what you guys think about that. It's an interesting topic. If you went the other way and you said you think Broly would win because he just smashed him to pieces because his power level is that higher, I can't really argue with you either. You know, this is more of like a who do you think would win, how do you view it, and logically I think you can go one direction or the other. So let me know what you guys think about all that. If you liked the video, please thumb it up, like it below. If you want to help support the channel, share it, favorite it, and yeah, that's it for this one, guys. I'll see you for the next one. This is Trev, as always, and I'm saying peace.